Tell me, I'm big on being a real dad, being a real father to our kids and all that. Tell me how you grew up with your fucking, not gonna say fuck. That's the pre-workout. Tell me how the upbringing with your father was. What did he tell you and taught you how to be a real man that you are right now? How was that like?
Dude, my dad was awesome. My dad's name was Romulo Angel Valencia. He grew up in Antioquia, San Rafael, Colombia. And they were a hustler, right? They were a poor family, Spanish dad, Israeli mom, and 7 brothers and sisters. He was the youngest of the men. And he was super smart, really charismatic. The older brother, Hector, or they called him Hernando, was a mad entrepreneur early on. And they had to make a decision between my dad and his brother George on who would go away to school. So at like 11 years old, Hernando took my dad and they started selling cigarettes all over Colombia. Wow. Like contraband, yeah, like back in the day, like hustling, like going. So my dad started smoking since he was 11 years old. So they would go all around Colombia.
That's a different
selling
time.
Cigarettes. Yeah, it's a different time. Go all around Colombia selling cigarettes, and then eventually they went and started a textile business and put up a store in Barranquilla, and that's my dad would be one of those soapbox dudes standing on like a crate selling. Aquí vendemos ropa.
Original
yeah,
entrepreneur.
like entrepreneur sitting in the street. And then one day he saw my mom's walking because my grandfather had a ferreteria.
Yeah.
What do you call it in English? Ferreteria is
Ferreteria.
hardware. A hardware store. So she was walking to school, and he went and talked to her dad and said, "Hey, I want to date your daughter." This and that, and that's how they met.
Wow.
And my dad was really good at math. I don't know if he took a test or something, but then he got a scholarship to come to without an education because he stopped going to school at 11. But he must have done something, and he got a scholarship. It was called the Albert Einstein Scholarship.
Wow.
At University of Florida back in the 60s. So they brought him to the US to do like this math thing. And then he started working, going here. He went back to Colombia, got my mom. My brother had just been born. He was like a year old, and then moved to New Jersey.
You wasn't born yet?
I was born in Jersey, in Paterson. And then, so we lived in Paterson. I was born, I was one of 5, but my mom lost three of the kids.
Oh, wow.
And then I was a preemie because my mom had that RS factor or something, like the blood disease. So I was born like premature, like 3 months early. So I had to go to the hospital and get like a full blood transfusion to survive. So I got all my dad's blood. They pulled out all my mom's blood and all my dad's blood.
You were already battling from the
beginning. And then grew up in Jersey, but my dad was always an entrepreneur. So he worked at a furniture store. And then he got in a bad, like a car hit him crossing the street in Jersey, hit him, almost died. And then another car hit him. As he was going up, a car hit him, broke his head. So he was in the hospital for a long time. So it was too cold to stay in Jersey. And then around that time, it was like the drug trade, right? So him and his brother again started another business where they were selling costume jewelry. So they would go to Hong Kong, and then they had a factory in Queens, New York, because we lived in Jersey, so it was close. Mm-hmm. So like I'm saying, he was always an entrepreneur. In Queens, they would get all the little things, like the little bracelets and stuff, the little necklaces from back in the days in the 80s, and they would put them together and they would package it all up, take it to Colombia and sell it all over Colombia, Honduras, and Venezuela.
Make the money.
And
just flip
all the money there. And then my dad went to school with Carlos Leather. You know who Carlos Leather is? One of the biggest drug dealers, started the weed in California.
Not into drugs, but,
well, he was one of the Colombian cartel. So him and some other guys were like, "Hey, how do you do this business? Do you want to wash the money, this and that?" And my dad just didn't want anything to do with it. So he's like, "Look, if you don't do it, we're just going to learn how to do your business and take it away." So it was like 1986, drug trade came in. They started selling the same work that he was doing. Yeah. They started selling it at a lower cost because they were just doing it to launder money. Mm-hmm. So he lost his business. Like we had recently moved from Colombia back to Miami, we were living in Carroll City and then Miramar.
That's
And then
like that's like COVID hitting them.
back then. And then so we lost our house, and then we just bounced from house to house for years. You know, he never really recovered. Like, he'd try to sell stuff here and there, jewelry. Then he laundered some money in New York City for a little while, and then almost got killed. And he's like, fuck that, I'm not doing that anymore. And then he got real sick, depressed, sick.
Because he's not used to doing what he was doing.
Right. He was used to being an entrepreneur and being able to push. And my mom, I have an amazing mom, man, who took the reins, and, you know, she worked, and they both, like, we cleaned offices. Like, I was 11 years old. We would clean offices. I would get off school and would clean offices, me, my mom, and my dad, till like midnight every night. And then, and my brother was always hustling because he wanted to get married. So he'd be riding his bike to like UPS to be able to get my sister-in-law a ring. So, you know, they were always hustling and try to make it. And
that's what you seen.
My only goal was, you know, once I started making some money, and, you know, I was in the mortgage industry before I started my business, and it went really well for me, like early 20s, making bank. So it was like, all right, for me, it was like, how are we going to take care of our family, right? How are we going to do, like, you know?
That's always the ultimate goal.
And it was great, right? It was the ultimate goal. It was like, and that's when you said earlier, it's like, you know, I don't love money, but I love what money does. So it was like, my dad was generous with money. My dad was generous with it. Either. I don't.
That's what paid the bills, bro.
Right, it's what pays the bills. And I think the generosity that my dad had and taught me, like, he would have had $1 in his pocket and would have given it to somebody, right? The shirt off his back. And for me, it was the same thing. It was just like, I'm not tied to anything, right? Like, I crashed my Jeep. I wanted this Jeep so bad my whole life. And when I had a little money, I had a custom Jeep made, and I crashed it. And everybody's like, oh, you miss your Jeep? I'm like, no, it's a fucking thing.
It's a material.
It was material, right? Like, yeah, I loved having it. I'm so glad that I got it.
But it's the way you was raised, bro.
It was the way I was raised. And
like, yo, no matter what you get, yo, material is material, but take care of the family.
And when I became successful with the business, it became like material. Like, the thing I needed for sure was a Rolex. Because when my dad had money, I needed it because my dad lost his. So when we lost our money, he had to pawn it. And I'm like, when I get money, I'm going to get a Rolex. I'm going to get it back. It was different. Yeah, it wasn't for the material. It was like, he had it. He lost it. I'm going to get it back for him. And I'm going to get it. And I'm going to get one for my sons. And eventually, once I get more money again, I'm going to get one for my nephews. And all these motherfuckers going to have one.
Wow, that's dope though.
Yeah, it's dope because to me, like, it's just part of it. It's gonna be part of that legacy. It's bigger than that. Like, nobody's really gonna understand the feeling and the emotion behind it. But you could get so lost in material things. Like, you know, we had so many good years. Like, you asked about COVID. Like, COVID was good. Like,
for you,
for me in the beginning, like during the COVID year, if you were an entrepreneur, you were smart because you put money in while people was pulling out.
They were scared.
So I got tons of business out of it. And that money came in, and when you get fast money, you spend it. Like,
bro, it goes fast.
Redid my house, bought a whole bunch of material things and stuff, and then it was like, for what? None of it meant anything. And it was like, damn, like, I started realizing that none of it meant.
I feel smart with this shit.
Yeah.
But I can't see.
None of it meant anything. Like, the material things didn't. It was like relationships and people and how you give back. And, you know, just, I became really selfish, and I lost myself. And, you know, you get distracted in life, and I had to pull back.
It happens.
Yeah, you had to pull back and kind of realize, all right, who do I want to be? Like, what kind of person do I want to be? And I know this was a conversation about my pops, but all that has to do with it.
It kind of went like.
But it all has to do, I'm like, he taught me generosity. He taught me to be an entrepreneur. He said, you could do anything, especially in this country. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Yeah. And nothing's going to stop you. He'd be that dad, be like, go, push yourself to the front of the line, and be like, no, I don't want any income. No, go. Nobody's going to stop you. Whatever you do in life, push through it. Commit. You do it and commit and go hard at it. And he was loving, and he was good, and I'm thankful for him.
He was a family man, bro.
He was a man. He like loved his family.
He gave away the Rolex, something that meant a lot to him and worth money. But he gave it up for the family, right?
Yeah, he had to pawn it so we could survive.
You seeing that as a kid was like, damn, you know what? I'm going to make that shit back for him, and I'm going to make it back 10 more times.
10x, right? Everything's 10x. Everything you give back in service and in love is 10x. It's in the Bible.
But people don't get that.
Yeah.
People want to take.
No,
10,
you
10x.
Take. And don't hold on, right? Don't hold on, right?
Bro,
right? We're not squirrels trying to get a nut. Like, don't hold on to it.
The majority of people in humanity, bro, and humans, 90% are like that, bro. And I'm sorry to say that. They're puppets, bro. They want to take before they give. And I don't stand for that, bro. You seen that as a kid mold you to who you are now. Now, I've been lost in my industry. I always told myself in my industry, bro, this ain't your world, bro. This is a fantasy world. It's fast money, fast everything, right? And I kept telling myself. I was telling myself that when I was already in it, though. And I didn't realize. So we all get lost. I was lost for a minute, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, you don't know. You're blinded.
You don't know
You're
it.
so
bro.
blinded by
You're
it.
so stuck on trying to be the right person and do right things that when you're in an environment that's consumed for materialistic shit, money, jealousy, anything you can think of, that's the world you in, it's gonna grab you.
Right.
That shit is gonna grab you, bro. And if you don't have the right people around you, it's gonna take a hold of you. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there, you've been there, but realizing that you're there and coming out, that's a different type of fucking man, bro.
Oh man, when you see that
I didn't
light,
like myself who I was becoming.
yeah, no, I didn't like myself either for a long time, right? Like, took a sabbatical out of life, came here and on this journey of like, all right, it took me a little time. Like I was saying earlier, some people, their timing's different, right? I know some people had expectations of me to change and kind of better who I was in a certain time
But you
period.
had to learn your lessons, bro.
Right, I got to learn lessons, feel the consequences of
have
my
to
actions.
walk everything.
And now things are like making a turning point. Like I'm making different decisions, and I know now I have a focus of what my purpose is and who God wants me to be. Right,
Yeah.
it's different, right?
Yeah, but
it's already mapped out for me.
But to get there, you had to go.
I had to go through that for sure. I had
And
to
people
go
like,
through
yo, you should. That's not how you. You have to go through all the dark shit, man.
Yeah.
You
But
have
it sucks
to see
because there's
it sucks, bro.
It sucks because there's collateral damage in
Oh, it sucks.
right. There's collateral
It
damage
sucks.
in
A lot of
between.
people pay price. A lot of people
People pay the
around
price
you
for
will
your
pay
own
the price.
fault. So
But that's
It's like-
but it's gonna make you who you're supposed to be.
right.
So there's no regrets on that.
No, I don't have regret.
The version that I seen of you, I like, bro. I don't know what version that was or what stage you was on in life, but I like who you are, bro. And since we met, we
Likewise.
clicked. I remember seeing you at the gym, and we never really talked. But I was like, yo, this motherfucker is like on it. He's on his fucking workout. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he's interesting. But I didn't even talk to you. But I have respect enough for men like myself. When I see one, I'm like, he's on his shit,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, we had a really good conversation. Once we sat, like we talked a couple times, but one time you and I had just a bar conversation, which is great. Like there's something romantic about a bar. Like some people, if you drink, you drink. If you don't, you don't. But for me, growing up in Jersey, my one of my best friend's dad had a bar. And I remember going there as a little kid with my best friend, Frankie. His dad had the bar, and my dad playing pool, playing pinball, and just being there. Like there was something romantic about two men sitting at the bar having a conversation over a beer. And till this day,
different.
I love it. It's different.
Bro, I have a lot of my meetings at the bar.
Right. And
People let their guard
You gotta
down.
know how to handle it, right? You gotta know how to handle the alcohol and the liquor. Yeah, it can
yeah.
take you to another stage and,
Oh, yeah.
and like mess up your thoughts because the sober mind is always better. But there's something amazing.
The sober mind is always better, but also a corrupt mind will give you the truth.
Right.
Person.
Yeah, sometimes,
You know what
right? Like being able to think on a different frequency allows it. Things that you would usually hold back,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't
Yep.
in those certain conversations. So I kind of love that setting, right? It's hard for me
It's
to
the
get away
setting that
from
we
it.
are right now.
Yeah, it's the same setting we having right now. But that conversation
cups
you
are
and I
low, low.
had, we got
No.
shoot, mine's I got more than
go
you,
ahead, Go
son.
ahead, bro. Go ahead. I need you to catch up, bro. I'm not gonna take a sip of this.
But we had a good conversation because we clicked immediately because there wasn't anybody else around us.
No interruption.
So you and I had a good conversation and we related and we resonated with each other and it was like we're walking kind of the same path and it was
We are, though.
admirable.
We are, and we talked about this earlier too. That you in the corporate world and you very successful in your businesses, bro. I know a few of them, right? And you see both sides of the world, corporate side and the entrepreneur side. I can't fuck with the corporate side because I was thrown into entrepreneurship and the industry that it's not corporate. There's corporate people in it.
Right.
But my
But it
career
clashes,
is not
right? Yeah.
it clashes, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like, is it difficult for you to have relationships? Can be friendship, girlfriends, or just anybody, bro. It doesn't matter. Is it hard to relate to people in the corporate world, or people like me in my world that's not corporate. Is that hard for you? Because you see both.
No, for me, I don't know. I'm like a chameleon. I'm adaptable, and I don't know if that's a good
A
thing.
chameleon is
That-
a good fucking thing.
like I can adapt to any situation, any kind of demographic. You know, you put me in a meeting room with top entrepreneurs,
Whoever.
multimillionaires, I'm gonna thrive. You put me at the bar with entrepreneurs and dudes that are just making it, like I'm gonna thrive, right? Because the heart and the love is the same.
Yeah.
Right? We were talking about lifting up men.
Yeah.
I'm all about lifting anybody up, right?
Humans.
Humans, right?
Good
humans. It
bro.
don't matter who you are. I'm
good
gonna have a
humans,
good
bro.
conversation.
I'm not here to outlive the selfish person.
No.
I'm not here to outlive people that don't like to give. That's not my world.
Right.
And I don't entertain that shit, dog. I'm here to be better myself, but you also gotta have people around you that want to be better.
Right.
If you're not on that, I don't want you around.
If you're the
me, bro.
smartest person in the room, which sometimes I felt like, damn, am I the smartest motherfucker in this room? Like, I don't want to be that. Like,
don't.
You want to be around people.
But there's people that
are
want to be the smartest person.
Right, and that-
Bro,
and
hey,
that-
you can have it.
Yeah, you can
And
have it. I don't
all
want
by
that,
yourself.
yeah.
I'm out of here.
like,
I'm out of here.
I want to be the best conversationalist because I'm listening, right, to something. So if you listen to How to Win Friends and Influence People, or read that book, which I read every year, I love that book, Dale Carnegie. The best conversationalist is one that doesn't say a word, but one that listens.
What they say, bro? I seen something that says the smartest man, a smart man once said nothing at all. That's real.
Right, it's real.
And people, sometimes I observe a lot in my industry, bro.
That's
in the
not
bodyguard
things like
industry, I see shit. I sit back, I don't talk, but I see every play being made, and people think that we're dumb, but we see all the mistakes, the success, and I take it in and I learn from it before I
Yeah.
make the mistake. So when people think that they smart by talking, you one of the dumbest ones
Right.
around me, bro.
And I'm a little bit of both. Like, I like hearing myself speak because I like you, I get excited about talking about certain things, right? Like, so if I'm speaking, it's because I'm so excited and passionate about
about it,
something.
bro.
I want to relate it. I want
Yeah.
people to gravitate
You
to it
wanna
and do
help
it.
those
Yeah, I
two.
want to help.
You want them
those.
to see it how you see it.
Right, and see it how I see it. But again, no expectations, right? One thing you learn is you can't expect anything
I'm
from
learning to
anyone.
do that,
because
bro.
that's
I'm a straight giver, bro. And
no
I give
judgment,
so much,
right?
and then I expect so much from people to get it, and when they don't, I get disappointed. But I'm trying to be better at that.
Yeah, that's expectation. Like, it's
I'm trying to be better.
I don't want to carry any resentments, so I don't expect anything from anyone. I try not to, right? It's a
We try.
work in
We're
progress.
humans, and we care. You one of the people. You're not a selfish person, so you care. You care too much to the point that you want to help them so much more than they want to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? And when they don't, you're like, damn. I wish you would have got it, bro.
Right.
But I learned to step away from that. And I told people, I said, look, bro, I'm on a different wave, man. You met the last week, Hugo. You met yesterday, Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people, I've been on probation for 3 years, right? And I tell people that know me before probation, right? And the people that met me through probation, I say, yo, you only met one version of me. You really don't know me, bro. And once I get off, I'm going back to non-probation Hugo. I'm a different Hugo.
Right.
And I hope you get to see that person. Because it's a better version of me, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm tied down.
Well, that's just like the system putting something around you, right? You're
Yep.
tied down because you're only allowed within a certain
I'm only
thing,
allowed to
but
do
your
certain
heart's
things.
still the same,
The
right?
heart's still the same.
Right? You're not really meeting a
The
different
soul is
version.
still the same.
And then that's like, I want to ask you about that, because surviving that, right? Being able to be in probation, but you're still hustling, you're still going after it. Like, again, going back to the conversation we had, you can be in that corner huddled up and be a
Yeah,
little
probation
bitch,
is designed to
or
hold you and
just
fuck you
still
up.
go after it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can be part of the system and be like, oh,
The
all right,
probation
if I'm-
system is designed to fuck you up and make you go back to jail.
keep going, right? Keep going.
No,
Recycle.
you're supposed to recycle back into jail, into the systems so they can make
be
their
part
money.
of that system.
And I was fortunate enough to know too much of who I was already. To no matter what situation, like you said, a chameleon, I am a chameleon, bro. I'm gonna adapt to any situation. Put me in a room, I'm gonna adapt to whatever room it is. I can be dressed in a gym wear and go into an office room and I'm still gonna win the room because it's who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Probation tied me down to certain things. I can't travel the way I used to. They took away all my guns, you know what I'm saying? But people, my clients that know who I really am, they know I don't need no gun, bro. They know I'm smart enough to make the right choices and be safe for them. So I still work. You know what I'm saying? it's hard to travel. I got to check in. I got to do all this thing.
Right.
I got to avoid cops at all times. I can't get a speeding ticket. That's hard, bro. I don't like to drive. I don't like to do this a certain time of hours. And some people don't get it. Hey, let's go hang out. I say, bro, I don't want to drive. Bro, but you're good. Yeah, I'm good, but I'm not good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're avoiding.
I'm avoiding everything, you know. So probation is tied. It ties you up to a lot of things, but I'm not gonna stop who I am, bro. Who I am doesn't define what is around me. You know what I'm saying? Or what's put on me. You know what I'm saying? But it's been tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's been tough.
But I love that avoidance, right? So I don't know if you've thought about it this way, but it just resonated with me when you said avoiding, because the conversations that you and I've had about your job, right, is security. Mm-hmm. You're not like that puffed up chest security where I'm gonna.
Never been.
Your job is to avoid situations and diffuse everything until necessary, right? Until something is necessary to do, and that you've carried that same mentality into this life of being on probation. Is like, how am I going to avoid being in situations that could ruin what I've already built?
The way I see it, bro, if I avoid situations for my clients to be safe and prevent certain things, how can I not do that for myself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's smart.
So that's
right?
the only way hey, I'm gonna prevent this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I stick to certain things that work, and if it works, I don't change it. Because that means I need to stick to it.
Yeah.
When people throw a wrench in my day, I'm like, that's the wrench of the day.
Yeah. But
I'm not gonna do that. I capture it because I see shit, right? But if I was to not see that wrench, can alter my whole life, bro.
Right.
One little wrench, one little thing can ruin me on probation.
Those wrenches suck, especially when you're on a journey to better yourself, right?
When you better yourself, you get thrown a wrench
all the time. All the time.
And it happens. And it can be, I don't want to say this, but it can be a wrench as far as a woman.
Oh.
They say that Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the camera. But they say that Adam and Eve was the situation, but it really was, right? Adam was throwing a wrench. Eve. And we can apply that to anything that we got going on right now. When you're trying to be better, it can be friends, it can be a woman. They don't mean bad for you, but it's just to test you, bro. Either you're gonna learn your lesson or you're gonna learn that lesson over and over and over if you don't fold, if you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Women, for men like us, and I really wanna say this shit, you're very independent. I'm very independent. I don't need a woman to do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? But we also need women that, we need that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of women don't get us. Cause we tell them the truth. Hey, I'm on grind mode. I'm working all the time. I'm here, I'm there, and it's still not good enough for them. Do you relate with some shit?
So I relate to that so like going back to my dad, right? The reason, and I think there's a fault in that, especially in my past relationships where I was too independent because of what I saw my dad. Like my dad cleaned around the house. My dad did like a lot of stuff. Like he never needed my mom to do a lot of stuff because he was holding his own because he might not have been working at that time. So I saw that, right? And then I also saw him like begging for attention at certain points, right? So for me, it was like, first of all, I'm always be independent. Like I don't ever want to be the dude where the woman has to be like, dude, this dude don't clean around the house. He don't do anything. I got to pick up after him. I'm never going to be that dude. I'm going to clean. I'm going to make life as easy as possible physically in that situation. But I'm also never going to beg for attention. And that was at fault because communication in a relationship is everything. And if you're not asking for what you want, it's going to get ruined, right? Eventually, you're going to go searching for something different. And that can fuck things up. So that's a fault. But there's a good with independence because I think you can build that. There's a certain way with the right people that you're going to build something that's equal. Right.
Real men can do that. But when it comes, some women don't want that though.
No.
And you know that. Some women want a man, and I say this shit in every podcast. Some women want a man that's there all the time, do whatever they want to do, get money, do this, do that. But a real man is really getting money and working. They don't have time to sit and watch 10 fucking shows. They don't have time to watch TV. They don't have time to go everywhere with you. You know what I'm saying? A real man is really getting it. And when they have that, they don't want that. They want a man that, hey, is always around, does whatever they do. That's not a man, bro.
I think a man that's grinding and has always got his mind focused on success and moving forward, and obviously, thinking about their family, whatever they're doing, whether they have kids or they're independent or not. But a man cannot be distracted, right? Maybe some men can, I don't know. But so far, I don't know of anything.
I think it's weak men, bro. That get distracted.
That you allow yourself to get distracted, and I think it happens to everybody. But distractions will kill you, and that's why you can't be idle. Like, I appreciate the fact that you're always trying to hustle, right? Because it keeps you out of trouble. Like when you have kids, I'm gonna keep them in sports. Make sure them little motherfuckers are busy so they don't get into any trouble and don't do anything wrong. The busier they are. And so the less trouble they can get into. But then there's also negatives that come from that too, right? With everything. But I think the less distracted you are and the more time that you're spending doing something positive, it's going to help you out in anything that you do.
I get that. Now, do you agree where there's different type of men? There's men that go after every day, go work out, do this, try to be better themselves and be fit and a protector? Or do you agree with men that don't do none of that shit? Do you consider them men or you consider them weak men?
I've come to a place where I don't have judgment anymore just because of things I've seen. I think everyone's got their place. Like if we're going to identify masculinity, right? The one that we grew up with was that. Like, all right, if I'm going to be fully honest,